Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. Today we have a ton of sales today, which is good because it was a little slow last week to say the least. You know, I shut the store down for 12 days during May, opened it back up for June, and we're going to shut it down here again in a day or two because we're headed to 301. And this is awesome because since I'm taking a couple days to go down there, I can still get 3 videos out of this week because we've got a ton of sales, 33 sales for just a tick under $1,200, which is really good for us. I'm happy about that. We're going to divide these up into 2 videos. I'm probably going to film them both today, actually, and then we'll film another one on Wednesday as well and put that out on Friday. So really good sales, but I've got 2 topics today about eBay myths, or what some person is calling, a few people, a lot of people actually I've seen lately, calling it an urban myth. There's 2 topics I want to talk about today, and we're going to get right into it. Let's take a look. I heard somebody on the porch. I'm the only one home today, at least right now. They'll be home in a little while. Everybody's busy in the summertime. That's part of the topic today, and these are going to be part of the topic today as well. Sold this NES lot along with an SNES lot or game. I think they're all sold together, and these actually went to a viewer, and that's part of the topic today as well. There are 2, I don't know if I should call them myths, legends, I don't know what you want to call them, lies, I don't know, that might be a little harsh, but I want to talk about 2 things today that I hear often, and I want to get your opinion on it, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it as well. Let me double check. I just want to make sure it was all 5 of these and this one, and it is $104.99 plus shipping heading out the door today. I paid $20 for that whole lot, and this has a little bit to do with what I'm talking about because this went to a viewer, and somebody made a comment on the last video where I was giving some common sense ways that you can get a few more sales. Not really heavy analytic stuff, just basic common sense stuff, and somebody put a comment on there and I want to address it later. And then the other topic, which we're going to kind of start talking about with this item here, and it was a Poshmark sale. I think I paid $5, maybe $10 for these flak jacket Oakleys. It's this one. I'll have to check and see. Hold on a minute. Yep, I got the right one here. These were a cross-listed item through List Perfectly. We sold them on Poshmark. We are loving the experiment. We still need to ramp up. We only have about 20% of our items cross-posted at this point. We've been super busy, but we're still making sales at just that low amount right there, $50 plus shipping on Poshmark for those flak jackets. And that kind of leads into the topic a little bit, one of the topics for the day, which is the summer slowdown. And I've seen a lot of people saying lately that it's just a myth. It's not a summer slowdown. You're just not doing it right. And I want to address that. And I forgot to mention those video games. Went to Chucky, Video Game Collector 1. He buys a ton of video games from us. But I'm going to use them. The reason I forgot is because I'm going to use them in a slightly different topic here in just a second. But I do want to talk about the summer slowdown and if it's real, if it's not real. So I'm going to start off by saying that traditionally over time, over the last 22 years, got a piece of hair on my hat, I actually have sold far more in the summer than any other time of year. But there's a reason behind it. It's because I was a teacher. In the summertime, teachers have off, and I listed like crazy. I was getting new inventory in from garage sales and listing all the time. I was doing it 5-6 hours a day. And then, you know, the rest of the year, I wouldn't spend but maybe an hour or 2 reselling every day. And I actually still do that. I spend about that same amount of time now as I did then. I never really transitioned into ramping up to a full-time income eBay reselling. We do pretty well, but I still don't spend more than 20 hours, almost max in a week, sometimes a lot less. My family chips in and helps as well. I better let this dog out. There's nobody out there. This dog loves people, loves people. And yes, a lot of people have been telling me to get WD-40, but I like it. It's like people sneak up on me, especially my wife. If I'm back there or something and that thing didn't squeak, she'd scare me to death, and she'd do it on purpose. So I actually do believe that the summer slowdown is a real thing. I think there is some definite data to back it up. Now, I'm going to qualify that statement a few times. And that is, you know, what kind of stuff are you selling? So this is a Fontanini item. This is a Christmas item. This is Thaddeus. It's been in the store for a long time. It was part of our 30% off sale, and it sold for $12.57 plus shipping. It's a Christmas item. So Some people say, well, you know, you can sell this all year, you can sell that all year, and that is true. There's no doubt about it. You can sell stuff out of season often. However, there is a lull in the summertime for most people, depending on what you sell. And obviously, there's a bump in Q4. Now, is it over-exaggerated both directions? Almost surely. It's not like you're going to sell nothing in the summer and your sales are going to go double in Q4. It doesn't work like that. At least it doesn't for me. You know, if you sell shoes, for instance, shoes are something people buy all year round. They're going to buy it in the summer. But let's take, say, sandals, for instance. You know, I sell sandals, especially kids' sandals. I sell them a lot more in the spring and in the summer than I do any time else. Hats, I sell way more hats in the springtime and the summertime. I sell more t-shirts as well. Obviously, sunglasses is an item that is going to sell better in the summertime. Golf club head covers are going to sell. You see me sell the lawn chairs, and those sell better. I've been really reducing how many I sell. I'm being a lot more picky on which ones I'm selling because the sell-through rate is amazing, but I am being a little bit more picky, so I haven't sold any yet this year, but I do have a couple that are listed, and I am going to list a few more, but I've just been buying less. The Harley Davidson stuff sells. People are out there riding their bikes in the better weather, and they have more time and vacations and stuff, so Harley stuff sells better. For me, it does anyways. In the fall, it sells as well. And well, it sells all the time, to be honest with you, but it's just better in the summer for me. So Harley, little skull cap bandana used, $14.99 plus shipping. You know, summer sports stuff, baseball stuff definitely sells. You know, clothes. I think golf clubs themselves and golf club covers. See what I mean? This is a cheap one, but let me get back here. Hybrid, Cobra, King Jr. This is only a $10 one, but this stuff sells as well. A little bit later in the summer, you start to see those Halloween sales pick up a little bit, even though Halloween sells year-round. You're going to see other things sell a lot better, too, in the later summer. The back-to-school stuff starts to go. My wife used to bundle up the kids' stuff that instead of taking it to Goodwill, she'd put them all in big bundles by size, by gender, and sell it in one lot. It wasn't huge money, but, you know, clothes start to sell as well back to school. And you just see that stuff pick up a little bit. So having said all that, there still is a summer slowdown. I've always experienced it. Well, I shouldn't say that because I never experienced it before, but I've always experienced it since I've gone full time, if you want to call it that. I really haven't. But I don't list more in the summer now than I did in those other times of year. And I see a little bit of a lull. Plus, I'm gone. I shut my store down. I'm going to do it again this week. I'm going to do it at the end of the month when I go to a camp listing party in Phoenix. By the way, I'm happy to meet some of y'all out there. And somebody didn't claim their virtual ticket, so we're going to give one away today as well. Matter of fact, let's do it right now. Somebody sent a card. Since we did the giveaway like we were supposed to for 5 of them, one person never claimed it. I'm going to give one away to the first person who sent a joke to Turner to read, and that's the Slim Flippers. And they had posted it in there anyway, so congratulations to you. Hit me up in an email. I'll connect you with Trish from List Perfectly, and she'll tell you how to do all that. By the way, anybody who's won the bubble wrap, you know, if you have any trouble with any of it, just contact me in an email, and I'll forward it on to either Joel if you won the bubble wrap, or to Trish at List Perfectly if you won the virtual ticket, and we'll get you taken care of. So if you have trouble, don't be afraid to contact me. I want to make sure everybody gets what they've won. And a big thank you to Matthew for buying plans for the Commonwealth Picker shipping table over on CommonwealthPicker.com. This next item is an item that usually goes to viewers, but sometimes doesn't. And this time it didn't. $10. There it is, $10 for these breast cancer awareness enamel tack pins. And I think that's October, right? That's when that is, but it's sold here. And we're not making much money, but we got them for free, so close to a $5 profit when you sell something for $10, free shipping. And since we're talking about viewer sales, even though this wasn't, I'm going to get to the other, what I think is a myth for sure. So I did a video last week, I think it was last week, a couple days, I don't know when it was, about how to get more, just common sense ways that you can improve your listings to get a few more sales. One of the comments I got, it was from Craig. I don't think there's any maliciousness here, so don't get me wrong. But they said the most important of all to get higher prices and more items sold is to have a YouTube show and get a large following. A lot of buyers want to support those they watch, and they'll buy things at higher prices from them just to support those they like. And of course, you know, being on YouTube, that sparked my interest a little bit. So I'm just going to make a couple comments about that. So First, yes, you know, if you watch my show, there's been days where 1 out of every 3 items went to a viewer. Most days it's 15, 20%. Today's probably around that as well. Like, for instance, these went to a viewer right here. But none of this did so far. But you'll see a few more later that have. So that's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 out of 6. So you do the math. Now, I will say this. There is a huge barrier to getting to the point on social media where you can get sales. And I can just tell you, I don't like people I'm not saying they're using it as an excuse. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not a good idea to use, you know, these built-in excuses why you're not doing this or whatever. It might make people feel better. But here's the facts. This is what I have experienced. And yes, I'm very, it's benefited me tremendously, and I'm very thankful. Especially like when we did those 2 whatnot sales. Here's just one example. All of these games, we had just posted them. We posted them right at the right selling price to get them sold fairly quickly, but not sold in like 10 minutes. Very competitive. They all had followers. They all are viewers. They all had people who were following the item. All of them. And all of them would have sold at, or probably they could have sold a little higher because I list them right at the selling price. And they did sell faster because a viewer bought them, but I promise you, within 2 weeks, every single one of these games would have sold. Maybe sooner. And while they wouldn't have all sold to one person, which makes my life easier, they would have sold. And I would say 98% of the items in my store will eventually sell some way, some shape, or some form. I think the speed of the sale is increased because of viewers. I mean, I have viewers that'll say, hey, I saw you pick this up at a sale. Is it listed yet? And I'm like, no, it's not listed yet. And they're following the store, waiting to see new items listed, and then they buy it. Matter of fact, a sale that we made that'll be on the next video was exactly like that. And there may be some viewers out there, some folks that are just starting or thinking about it or not selling because they think that that statement's true, and it just isn't. We're going to talk about it a little more in just a second. I got 2 more things to say. But here is a sale. This one was interesting. So I told you I was putting things been in the store a long time. We sold bins of this stuff, but there's still 3 or 4 left, 5 maybe. And Fillmore and Sarge sold. They were listed at $12.95. Put them on 30% off clearance because they've been in the store a long time. And then when I got a watcher, I sent out a 5% offer. And then they sold. So I think it was $8.62. Plus shipping. I know a ton of eBay resellers, not just eBay, but other platforms. And I'm not going to go through name by name. I've mentioned some of them before that might be on social media, but they have a very small following that do far more in sales than I do. It's not even close. I know part-time resellers. You hear me talk about Uncle Steve. I just called him, talked to him. Well, he called me. He talked to me today. I said, hey, what's your 90-day total looking like? Because I bet you're beating me right now because I took so much time off in May. And sure enough, he was. And he is very part-time. He's in a great place to source. Ours isn't as great, but he puts in less time than I do. And he is selling more. He sold more last month than I did. So his 90-day total actually surpassed me as well. And he's got no social media following. And there are so many people like that. There are tons of people watching this show right now who sell far more than I do. And they don't get any viewer sales whatsoever. So it is not the most important factor. It isn't even close to the most important factor. At the same time, it definitely is beneficial, especially the way I do this. And I appreciate everybody out there. But like I said, and some of you out there, you know who you are, sell massive amounts. And some of you don't want to sell massive amounts. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that this person said it was the most important factor. It just isn't. It isn't even close. And we're up to like 8 items, I think, something like that. 1 viewer sale, just to give you an idea. And like I said, those would have all sold eventually. And I'm very appreciative, and it really does make my life easy when you can sell them all like that. And we'll give you a shipping discount there because we've bought so many. So thank you for that, Chucky. We appreciate you very much. This right here sold, this is not to a viewer, $47.49. We did free shipping on it. It's super light, so just think about it as like 42 plus ship on something like that. I think I paid $1 for it. You ever find these? Olympus is a good name, cameras too. But if you ever find these little recorders, definitely grab them because they sell. This one sold fairly quickly and sold for a good price. And as far as getting higher prices for something, That just doesn't really work, because if you do that thinking, okay, you know, and maybe 20% of your sales are going to go to a viewer, you're putting higher prices on everything, that other stuff's just not going to sell. So you've got to put competitive prices, no matter if you have a YouTube channel, Facebook page, Instagram, whatever it is. You know, there are certain categories, certain people that probably could charge a premium on stuff. And, you know, we've seen that on Whatnot. We've talked about that as well. But, you know, if you don't price your things at a decent price, now auctions are a different story. But if you don't price your things at a competitive rate, you're not going to sell them. I mean, some things just, you know, how many viewers in my audience are going to... Look at that, it's twice in a row. First one on top. Are going to want something like this, right? Dark Ages Storyteller Companion. This sold for $15 plus shipping. Let's give away some American Bubble Boy bubble wrap, 700 feet going out. We still have, I don't know, 5 more or something like that. I can't remember how many we got. I got a list with all the codes on it. And 700 feet of bubble wrap for free. Contact me in an email or on Instagram. I'll give you the code. And if you can't figure it out, because there's only, I think there's different products at 700 feet, and there's one specific one, so I might need to contact Joel for you. Andrea Newberry, congratulations on winning 700 feet of bubble wrap, compliments of American Bubble Boy. Having said all that, here's the second viewer sale of the day, and it was a deal. I think they were listed for $20 and $12 for these two. I think it's a viewer sale. They put him, Ed, I think you're a viewer. Maybe I'm assuming it, but Ed, thank you if you are. Walt Disney World, right there. Really nice condition, grumpy mug. That one sold along with this little book. I think we paid $25 for this book right here. And they sold combined. I gave them a deal for $25 plus shipping for those two. Sold another one of the NWO wrestling bandanas here, and this one's not a Hulk Hogan. And I want to say this might be our first one that wasn't a Hulk Hogan. And the Hulk Hogan ones are selling for $15. These, I gotta make sure I get the right one, the red ones, are selling for $10. And obviously there is a massive quantity, so you know, you make $5 a pop on them, or $4.90 or whatever it is. I'm not quite sure. I haven't done the math on a $10 sale lately. It is going to go out at the 4-ounce rate. And we're going to throw in some extras here. Bubble Bucks, my Reseller Genie, a couple of stickers right there. Here, I'll give you 2 Commonwealth picker stickers. Throw them right there, because it's going to Josh. Hello again, Kevin, longtime viewer and supporter of your channel. Huge pro wrestling fan. He says he watched in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, a little bit in 2000s. Grew up watching Monday Night Wars, all the ECW guys moving back to WCW. NWO was great. If you're able to throw in extras, well, there you go. I'd appreciate it. So you got a few extra stickers there. At any rate, thank you very much, Josh. I hope you enjoy it. Had a really small sale here, $5 plus shipping, this holographic Halloween puzzle. And I wouldn't have listed this. I don't even know where I got it, to be honest with you. And so it must have been my wife that listed it. She doesn't like to turn away a couple bucks, so she'll list something. My guess it was free, and it sold for $5 plus shipping. I've got to go find a homeschool hustler somewhere for a joke. How you doing, bud? And look, y'all. Look at all the stuff he's torn up. How you doing, Dob? That's Dobby right there. You never get to see Dobby. When Reagan comes, boy,
no name
making biscuits.
I'm a biscuit maker.
And you just sad because nobody's paying attention to you. All right, Reagan's going to do Turner's part and her part, because Turner's not here. And then later, Turner will do one of her parts. That's right. Look at old no name. And y'all, if you send a card in, that's sent to Turner Brown, P.O. Box 1427, Bedford, Virginia. We'll read your joke, and we'll keep them all. We'll do a giveaway at some point. I don't know what for yet, but we'll announce it soon. And you have one sale on CommonwealthPair.com. What do you got?
Morgan got an Enema Man. I almost said Enema Man got an Morgan. That would make sense.
Morgan got an Enema Man.
And
awesome. You want to read this?
Commonwealth comedy today is: a sad-looking horse walked up to his owner, and his owner asked the horse, "So, why the long face?"
And who's that from?
The Slim Flippers.
All right, the Slim Flippers. So thank you.
Hi, Noni.
Very, very much. We appreciate it.
Bye, and don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
We sold some Super NES controllers. They sell super fast. Usually for right around $35 plus shipping. And I think we just sold another one, so it'll be on the next episode. And another viewer sale, one of the Hulk Hogan, what do they call them, skull caps? Little beanie things. And we're getting a little low on those, for sure. Make sure I get the right one. Where are they? There they are. There's one of them anyway. And that sold with an NWO decal as well. I think just right under 25 bucks for two, for that one and for this one. And it went to Brad. He says, big fan here. Thanks for everything you do. So Brad, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Almost forgot another nice big sale here. One of the Family Guy items headed out of here today. And it's finally getting a little lighter, so it's a little easier to find some of these guys. And this is Joe Swanson Trophy Series 3, a bat. And that one sold for $54 plus shipping. Thought I'd end it in here and give you a quick peek at some of the things that we found this weekend. I don't want to give it all away. You got to go check out the Commonwealth Picker channel. If you, for some reason, have not subscribed to the Commonwealth Picker channel, that's the sourcing channel, garage sales mostly. Over there, we also have some content on the Garage Sale Nation channel as well. And of course, our podcast. And I've just decided to highlight a few folks here from time to time that I have enjoyed their friendships and content for a long time. So check it out, y'all. We did pretty darn good. So thank y'all for joining us as always, and I can't wait to see you next time.